So my name is David Marr, and it's my distinct pleasure to be the head of schools for Rolling Hills Prep, Renaissance, and Reach schools. And we're really, really glad you're here. It's a great opportunity to tell you more about a little bit about what we do. And we're excited to talk about the fall of 2021, because although it seems like a world away, it's going to be on all of us before you know it. So we're going to start off with a quick video, which gives an overview of our campus, our schools, and most importantly, our students. So sit back and relax, and we'll pick you up on the other side. Enjoy.
When I first moved into the school, everyone was so nice. I just felt so welcome here. It's a perfect school to come if you're willing to do anything for the community or if you just need more supportive teachers.
What I like about Archie and Ren is that it's like one big family. But more than that, we have advisors who are there for us, and they're always checking in on us, and they make sure that we're set with our future.
What I like about the school is about how much of a family that everybody is and how much they work together.
My favorite thing about Rolling Hills Prep is the faculty's dedication to making sure the students succeed. They go leaps and bounds beyond what is required to make sure every student feels accepted and every student has the cards they need to win.
I like the school because the teachers help my individual needs.
What I like most about Rolling Hills Prep is how small the classes are, so you get so much attention, and the teachers could really focus on you, and you get more help.
What I learned about this educational program makes it hands down one of the most innovative and inclusive programs, not just in LA, but in the entire country and universe of independent schools.
The school is awesome. I love it here.
Well, that tells you a little bit about us and shows you some videos we took before, obviously last March. I remember that presentation from Jonathan Mooney. We were packed into our Adam Z. Rice Performing Arts Center like cordwood. And those days seem a long time ago. Since last March, we've been primarily using distance learning as our platform to reach out to kids. We've been incredibly successful. From the beginning, we've been delivering the closest experience possible to a normal school year for our students in our community. Our classes have remained rigorous and engaging. Our clubs and activities continue to meet. We're able to provide support to students academically and, more important than ever, emotionally and social emotionally. Our campus has been, in the meantime, outfitted with PPEs, plexiglass, touchless bathrooms, signage, and so much more. And we've managed to take care of the risk in order to bring back 25% of our student body as allowed by the LA County Department of Health. So in the next week, our task force will be meeting to make decisions in January for students, academics, sports, outdoor clubs, et cetera. All with the single goal of providing an environment where our students are not only safe, but where their academic, social emotional health and safety needs can be met. In the meantime, our second trimester kicked off right after the Thanksgiving break on a very, very positive note. And we all looking forward to being together on campus, but we remain committed to distance learning as much as possible for the current time. So a few notes on the school's histories. Rolling Hills Prep was founded right here on the Hill 41 years ago as a rigorous college prep academic school with an independent school with a soul. That soul was the support that came from the relationships between faculty and adults in the community and the students. We think it's unique. We believe it's the best there is. 15 years ago now, we recognized the need to have extra support in order to meet the needs of students who were bright but learned differently on our campus. And so we created Renaissance School, and we created a model where two schools and one vibrant campus, which was unique in the independent school world. Last year, we were able to add to our family of schools with Reach, a school that reached out to lower age students and was able to provide them with the academic and social support in order for them to be successful. 3 great schools, 1 vibrant campus. And we're excited to tell you about the Husky experience today. Thank you for joining us again. And to start with, I'm going to pass it over to Justin Flamini and Alyssa Matuchniak to give you some specifics on the Rolling Hills Prep program. Justin and Alyssa.
Thank you so much, David. Thank you. And thank you, everybody. Good morning. Thank you for being with us here today. It's December, busy month, right? Busy month. And on top of that, I'm sure you have 4 or 5 jobs at home right now on top of your professional career. So we really thank you again for being here, and your time is very valuable. And so I'd like to speak to you today a little bit about Rolling Hills Prep. And as you heard, we have 3 schools on our beautiful campus. And I have the privilege of being the director of Rolling Hills Prep School. And I'm here, like Mr. Morse said, with Alyssa Matuchniak to talk to you a little bit about RHP and what we have to offer your child from an academic standpoint, and subsequently other standpoints, as you'll see, not just academic. But I thought I would start out with a little personal relation, and that is the fact that I'm a lot like you in this room right now. You're visiting today, you're looking for challenges for your children to see what opportunities exist beyond, the future, beyond college, beyond high school, looking for the best education. And I was there too once. About 7 years ago, I was looking for a school that put academics first. Not just put academics first, but was a school that placed emphasis on the whole child. And I want to talk to you a little bit about that later. But you see these 4 pillars behind me. When I walked through those 4 pillars for the first time, disciplined minds, sound character, healthy bodies, and creative spirits, I knew it was a good sign, pun intended. So, we have academically sound principles that are embedded deep within RHP's soul. And that's why I chose to work here 7 years ago, and it's why I continue to this day. And so what I want to do right now is, if I can, share my screen with you. And this is the part where I really appreciate all the hard work our teachers do as they're switching between Zooms and letting kids from waiting rooms. So we have a COVID schedule right now that we are running. And that was a commentary on our flexibility, our ability to see something and react. And so not only do I need to immediately throw accolades to our wonderful faculty who, in a matter of 48 hours, turned from a traditional classroom into a distance learning format that really kept the integrity of our curriculum and of our school. We also built a schedule hoping that students would be on campus in small cohorts and that they would be able to see their entire block schedule at least twice a week on campus. So while we did make an adjustment to our schedule this year, I would like to share with you our normal schedule, and so you can see some of those academically sound principles. So hopefully you're able to see our traditional schedule. And one of the first things that you'll see is that it's a rotating block schedule. And one of the important things about this from an educationally sound perspective is, if you're not a morning person and you're taking AP Calculus in A block, you're not going to be graded on your ability to wake up in the morning. You're going to be graded and have an opportunity to see that class in the afternoon, as well as a little later in the morning. So that provides a lot of opportunity for students to show their skills, as well as the fact that, and I want to highlight a small thing here, a break in the middle of the day, 15 minutes. Science tells us that we want to allow kids to have time to decompress, to process their information, even just enjoy some social emotional health with their friends. So
hey, Justin, for those of us with visual challenges, can you make your screen a little bit bigger?
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Perfect. That's much better.
So you see this break is a 15-minute break built into the day. And again, there was my A block from earlier at 8:20 in the morning. And then you would see A block at 12:50. And then again here at 9:35. So a lot of opportunities exist there. Now, if I can also talk to you for a second about the duration of those classes, 70 minutes. This year, we are doing 80 minutes with some adjustments as we're navigating this COVID environment. But 70 minutes really allows for your children's teachers to come alive, to really teach and get in depth with the curriculum. I come from a public school, 45-minute periods. By the time everybody gets in and you wrap up your lesson, you're talking about a 35-minute lesson, probably lending itself more to lecture and worksheets. And in our environment, it allows for some of the initiatives that I want to talk to you about, which include project-based learning, our candidacy for the middle years program, a part of the International Baccalaureate School. And really what this comes down to is inquiry learning. It allows students to take what they already know and go deeper into the curriculum, ask questions, use their curiosity to go deeper into what we're talking about in class. So one of those examples I thought I would share with you very briefly is something that the AP physics class helped me out with a couple years ago. And for those of you who watch The Office, it is a show we're watching, and I had a question. They try to get a gentleman out of a building without an elevator by sliding him down the stairs. So when he hits the stairs, I wondered, maybe I could go into AP physics and find out how fast and how hard Stanley hit this wall. So I went into AP physics, and the AP physics kids were able to help me using the knowledge they already knew about mass, gravity, inertia, to ultimately come up with the fact that Stanley hit that wall at 17 miles an hour. So again, just a small example, but something where you're taking curriculum and going deeper with it and applying it in the real world. So that's definitely something very proud of. And that those allotments of time give us that ability to really bring the curriculum alive. Incorporated within the middle years program of the International Baccalaureate are also approaches to learning skills that help students think about their thinking, social interaction, communication, research, self-management skills. You heard in the video, our advisory program is an extremely strong aspect of this school. Our advisors are like nothing else. They are another parent for your child. They are someone that will love your child, will see them through their years of education, help them with things like college applications, initiatives like diversity, equity, and inclusion. Also talking just, are your grades in good standing? And maybe the students might not like to hear another parent is watching their grades, but it is really a very sound principle that attracted me to this school. And we meet for about 200 minutes through the week. So there is a lot of time there. And what would an academically sound school be without sound academics? So briefly, I just want to talk to you. Our classes are capped at 16. We have a lot of classes with a handful of students, especially in the science and math areas where more hands-on instruction, more hands-on learning, individualized time with the teachers is very important. Not only do we offer a plethora of advanced placement classes, but our specialized diplomas essentially give your student the opportunity to have a college major in high school. We have the Global Studies and World Language Diploma program, the Math and Science Honors Diploma program, as well as the Visual and Performing Arts program that really allow your children to complete advanced level coursework in addition to internships that really set them ahead of their peers when they go into their fields of interest. And before I hand it off here to Alyssa, I do just want to kind of come back to that whole student aspect that I spoke about earlier. And I think we had these AirPod Max come out, right? These $500 AirPod Maxes. I see Apple as a company that they pump out products and they are supposed to work and make our lives easier. All of us here at Rolling Hills Prep view our job in that same fashion, albeit with a lot more heart. Our job here, our role here at Prep is that, we are producing young adults that are academically prepared for the next stage in life, but that they're also productive, positive contributors to society who flourish for decades beyond their graduation date of June of whatever year. So our pillars, again, behind me, sound character, creative spirits, disciplined minds, healthy bodies. This is what we hope to bring to your children on top of a supreme education. So I will hand this over to Alyssa Matuchniak, our middle school extraordinaire and English teacher. Alyssa.
Hi, thank you so much, Justin. Good morning, everybody. As he said, my name is Alyssa Matuchniak. I am the middle school English teacher at Rolling Hills Prep, the lead 8th grade advisor at Rolling Hills Prep, and I am the middle school extraordinaire. I want to talk to you a little bit today specifically about what makes middle school at RHP so unique. Middle school is kind of a funky time for kids. They're sort of in this strange liminal space between the highly guided childhood experience of elementary school and the independence that kids find once they get to high school. And our job as middle school teachers, advisors, faculty, and staff is to act as that bridge between this childhood and young adulthood experience. And in that, our primary goal is to really make sure we're increasing our students' self-advocacy and ownership of their learning. As Justin mentioned earlier, one of the ways in which we're making that happen is through our participation as a candidate school for the Middle Years program, which is one of 3 programs in the International Baccalaureate School-Wide program. What makes this so unique academically is that MYP really focuses on conceptual learning. This is not a curriculum in which classes are siloed off into separate, discrete sections that never intersect with each other. MYP is really about looking at major ideas that transgress across disciplines and say, how can I use the skills in each of these subjects to participate more fully in an inquiry-based world? So really, we're looking at making connections across disciplines, about increasing the well-roundedness of our students, and as well increasing their global perspectives and the depth of their knowledge. This also allows for greater balance between structured supports from their teachers, collaborative engagement and inquiry with their classmates, and independent creation to demonstrate their learning. One of my personal favorite attributes of the MYP as an English teacher is that it really lends itself to choice in terms of how kids learn and how they choose to demonstrate their learning. As an example, our new crew of 6th graders at the school, when I first met them back in August, I designed a project for them where they got to tell me and show me who they were, to introduce themselves to me using any medium of communication that demonstrated a part of their personality. I got things like self-recorded videos, collections of drawings, handwritten songs, so much more. And that is the ability and range that MYP offers our kids. It really lets them bring their full selves to the classroom and to not just learn subjects as, an information and material to acquire, but to see themselves as part of the knowledge and learning process. It really is a totally unique experience. I also want to take a moment to talk briefly about some of the successes that we've had in our middle school with distance learning. As you know, because we're still working on these self-advocacy and responsibility skills with our middle school students, there was a lot of anxiety about transitioning to a digital format and worrying about, are our kids still going to be able to manage their time? Are they still going to be able to manage their workload? Are they going to be able to organize everything? And I can proudly say that yes, we have done an amazing job as a faculty, as advisory staff, and so much more to make sure our kids stay on top of everything that they need to do. So with built-in blocks in our time frames, such as advisory check-ins that happen every morning, X and Y tutorial blocks that take place twice a week, we're really able to provide opportunities for additional guidance and support for our students. We give them practice with time management and study skills, and we also give them this space for health and mindfulness strategy awareness and practice. With my own advisory students, for example, I frequently use my mornings to check in with a mood check to ask how my students are doing on a particular day. And I use my tutorial blocks with them to teach them time management strategies, such as the Pomodoro technique, to help them get work done in a more efficient manner so that they take their evenings and afternoons back with their families. Additionally, we've been able, as Justin said, to maintain our robust curriculum and schedule in this distance learning environment while making adjustments along the way. We've also still been able to keep up and create virtual activities and community building things, even in this time of distance learning. We recently started a rollout of game nights in both middle school and upper school. We continue to have movie nights. Last night, our arts department put on a phenomenal performance and a bunch of school members came and watched and cheered our kids on as they sang their hearts out and acted their hearts out. we have found a way to make sure our school still comes together and celebrates what makes us so unique in person, and we've made that possible online as well. The last piece that I think for me as a teacher is so unique about RHP Middle School is that we are not just checking in with the faculty and you as parents. We're also really getting feedback from students about what is and isn't working in terms of learning in this time. So for example, we will frequently send out surveys to check in, not just with the parents, but to ask students, is our distance learning schedule working for you? Do you need more or less screen time? Do you need more individualized support from certain teachers? And we work to make those adjustments possible. So students don't just come to this school to learn, they participate in its creation and they participate in making it the success that it is. Thank you all so much for your time. At this moment, I'd like to turn it over to our Director of Renaissance School, Jennifer Stroud. Jennifer?
Thank you so much, Alyssa and Justin, for kind of explaining all of those wonderful things that Rolling Hills Prep brings to the table. At Renaissance School, we really celebrate our cognitive and cultural diversity through creating curriculum that is very individualized for each student, that ignites their passion and talents and needs in order to become really agile thinkers, independent learners, and lifelong learners. So many of our students have been that round peg trying to fit into a square hole at different schools. Where at Renaissance, we really are so flexible that we adjust to the individualized needs of each student. Really, at the crux of Renaissance School, what we do is we teach the process of learning. So much about learning is developing skills in which you can approach all content. So at Renaissance, we focus so much on developing those skills that students need to be successful. So that looks like building all of those executive functioning tools. So how do I organize a plan to complete a certain task? How do I manage my time through that task management? When do I know when I need to ask for help? How do I advocate for myself? And how do I approach large assessments with the study strategies that I need to be successful? So all of these skills are really about how we teach that process of learning. But we go way beyond just teaching students skills. We really also embed within the curriculum social thinking curriculum. So teaching students how to take perspective, how to self-regulate, how to tap into their social emotional learning and thinking, as well as metacognitive skills, thinking about how we think, really understanding ourselves as learners, and also developing those career, life, and life skills that we really need, like beyond in school and also beyond. So our focus in Renaissance is really to have students fall back in love with learning, ignite that passion, find their self-advocacy and their strengths and talents, and make that come to the forefront and have them flourish. We really believe in a 10-to-1 positive to negative reinforcement model. So sometimes students that have learning disabilities or differences have been told no or been corrected so many times that, you know, school becomes not as fun for them anymore. And what we really, really try to reinforce is that positive reinforcement model. We also believe in restorative justice and really conflict resolution within the school. So our learning support in Renaissance, each student is assigned a learning specialist specific to them. And that learning specialist works with them throughout the day to support them in their schoolwork. And we have so many opportunities in the schedule, like when Mr. Flamini shared that block schedule with you. We have so many opportunities within the schedule for students to visit their learning specialist and get the learning support that they need within the school day. This is so critically important because all of us with neurodivergent learners, we have been their advocate and we have fought for them. And so often that time at home is spent sort of trying to assist and be their learning specialist at home. We accomplish most all of the schoolwork that Renaissance students need to accomplish within the school day. We have learning support both embedded in the school day and in our after school program. This is so important because it finally gives families the opportunity to have their children back in the evening, to not fight over homework, to really engage in that in family life in the evening. And I think that that is really critical. And the gift that many families reflect back to me is very, very powerful. With all of that being said, I also want to allow some time for our International Student Program Coordinator, Lisa Benici, to talk about the International Student Program. Lisa?
Thanks, Jen. Hi, everyone. How are you doing? I'm so happy to be here today to talk to you just briefly about our international program at Rolling Hills Prep. Our international program is housed within the Rolling Hills Prep School, and it's been around for over 20 years. We have a real commitment to diversity on our campus, as you've heard a little bit about already. And our international students are a very important part of our community here. We feel that our school community really thrives because we welcome students not only of all American backgrounds, but of all international backgrounds as well. So welcome to our international agents and providers, as well as to our American families, to learn a little bit about our international students today. Our international program is small, and purposefully small, because we really want our international students to get a full immersive experience here. So at any one time, we don't have any more than 15% of our students coming from abroad. And we've had students come from all over, including Australia, China, Korea, Japan, Colombia, and beyond. Our international program also has an ELL, English Language Learning component, should our students need that. We have English language proficiency requirements that students need to have in order to enter into our school. And that's really just so they can take part fully in the education here. Their international students take all of their courses with our American students. And so we have some students who still need a little support with their English, and so we provide that ELL, or English language program, as well. Our classes, our ELL classes, are small, and our classes in general are small, and this is really a great feature for all students, and I would say our international students as well, because they get such an opportunity to participate and learn through collaboration with their peers and active participation, which is very different than a lot of international students' experiences abroad, where a lot of schools abroad are more traditional in their learning style, and so students are most often listening to lectures. But when they come here to our school, they really see the striking difference where they're active contributors to the class environment. Our students live with host families. So I say that both to our international partners, but also to our families. There is an opportunity, if you so desire, to host international students from time to time. And our students come, we have both a long program, so our students come here mostly in 9th grade, but anywhere from 7th through 11th, and they stay throughout their entire high school experience, and they go to college here. We also have had shorter stay programs with a sister school in Japan. The students would come over for half a year or 1 year, as well as from Europe. And yeah, so I just wanted to conclude by saying we really feel like our international program is of such great benefit to our community and to all our students. It helps our students develop that very important global competency skill and the ability to communicate and cooperate with people from all over the world. So our American students and our international students are forming lifelong friendships and learning about different perspectives within the classroom by having students from all over the world with us. If you have any questions about our international program, please feel free to reach out. to me, and I'd be happy to go into more detail. But now I'd like to turn it over to our fabulous Director of College Counseling, Ms. Bernie Diamond.
Thank you, Lisa. Good morning, everyone. I want to start by giving a shout out to our recruited athletes. One college rep referred to us as small but mighty, but even though we have a small student population, every year we have Division I, our athletes recruited to Division I universities. Last year we had 7 recruited athletes, and this year we have 2. And so I want to congratulate Clarice Akinwafo, who is ranked number 2 in the country by ESPN Girls Basketball Rankings for her position. She has been recruited to USC, or by USC. And I also want to congratulate our softball player, Maria Galvin, Bethune-Cookman University, which is a HBCU, or historically Black college in Daytona Beach, Florida, has recruited Maria. Recently, a couple years ago, I visited the campus of Amherst College, and one of the professors at Amherst spoke to the college counselors who were visiting about his experience of dropping off his son at college. And, you know, he's a college professor, but that particular year, his son had started college. And when he dropped off his son, he said to the admin at that college, above all else, just take good care of my child. And that term really struck me because that's really what a parent wants, to be ensured that their child is in good hands. And when I think about Rolling Hills Prep and Renaissance, that's what the teachers and admin do. We take good care of every student who is on our campus. And so I want to talk about, you know, how we achieve that through college counseling. So the college counseling program aims to ensure that our families are well informed about the college admission process. And we guide students through very customized counseling in positioning themselves to have successful undergraduate experiences at colleges that are the right fit for them. During freshman year and sophomore year, we offer workshops to help students gain self-awareness, identify possible majors and career interests, and understand the college admission process, as well as the various types of colleges out there. And at the end of sophomore year, students take a SAT, ACT diagnostic to help them choose which standardized test prep class to take in this fall of their junior year, which we offer on campus. I should also note that we do offer school-based testing for SAT and ACT for our students who need accommodations. And we are also an SAT test center site. So during the months of October, November, May, and June. During junior year, we begin our one-on-one family meetings as well as student meetings. And students can elect, or families can elect, and they often do, to have meetings one-on-one starting as early as freshman year. So the summer prior to senior year, our students participate in a 3-day college application boot camp. And then during the final year, students are meeting regularly with the college counseling office and attending college application workshops on the Common App, CSU, and UC apps. I also want to highlight our programming. Part of making sure that our parents and students are well informed about the process is inviting as many colleges to our campus as possible. And so college representatives visit our campus daily in the fall to meet with our students. And throughout the school year, we have a host of day and evening programs for all upper school parents and students. Some of that programming includes our selective college night. In years past, for that evening, we've had Princeton, UPenn, Dartmouth, and Brown host that evening. We also have a fall college night where we have a series of short seminars or workshops for students and parents. And then we have our summer experiences fair and a symposium on learning differences in higher education in the late spring, where we invite colleges that have comprehensive learning support programs, so that we're making sure that our families are well informed about options out there for their student who may need additional support in college. And we also have a college application case studies night. And so college reps kind of guide parents and students through evaluating college applications and what it would be like if they were an admissions committee. So how that whole process goes, the college reps guide parents and students through that process. In closing, I just really want to reiterate that our goal is to make this process, which can be a stressful process. It is a big deal. It is a time of transitioning from high school to the next step after high school. And so our goal is to make it as stress-less as possible and as manageable as possible. So we enjoy working very closely with families and getting to know that family very well, and in meeting the needs of the family and the student. And now I would like to introduce our STEM coordinator and science teacher, Dr. Michael Sherman.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. I am the math department chair and STEM coordinator here at Rolling Hills Prep. And it's my pleasure to speak a bit about the STEM program with you. So the major thing with STEM is it's never been more relevant in our history, and it's going to continue to do so. So we here at RHP Ren, we know that STEM education and careers are vital, and it's our goal to prepare our students. So the biggest thing about our STEM program is we want our students to be able to problem solve, inquire, apply the design cycle, and really work together and collaborate. And all of these things you've heard touched upon in our explanation about the IBMYP, and I know Mr. Flamini talked about inquiry as well, but that's all a part of our STEM program. A major thing that our school does offer is the Math and Science Diploma. And that's something also that was talked about earlier, but what this diploma really does is it'll set apart these students in the field of STEM. And if they have a successful history in math and science, it's one leg up on their competition in terms of college preparation. So major components of the Math and Science Diploma is the curriculum and the courses they're going to be taking, their immersive research-based learning, their internship-based learning, and their service-based learning. If you have any more questions about this or anything else I discuss, I'm going to put my email in the chat, and please feel free to reach out. Currently, our STEM program's ever growing. COVID has put a little bit of a hamper on terms of our competition, but historically, our students in the middle school have competed annually in our future cities, and robotics in both middle and high school has been a big component here at RHP and Ren. In terms of courses, so we continue to add new courses and opportunities for students each year. With the addition of our IBMYP, we now have a design course for students in grades 6 through 10. So that's where we integrate the design cycle and inquiry-based learning. In addition to that, we already have our established AP Computer Science, AP Environmental Science, and Strong Robotics program. In all, we have a variety of AP course offerings. So we have 4 AP Science course offerings and 2 in math. And lastly, I'll touch upon the STEM Expo. So the last 2 years, we have hosted our very own STEM Expo at RHP and Ren. Last year, due to COVID, we did our STEM Expo for the very first time virtually, where we had the opportunity to learn from 14 STEM professionals and 2 of our very own students. So that was a great way for our school community to learn about STEM careers and how to get engaged in STEM activities across the community. So if you're interested in seeing any of that information, that's also available online. If you go to our website, under the academics tab, you'll see the STEM Expo 2020, and feel free to check that out and learn anything else. So in conclusion, here at RHP and Ren, we really do believe that this is the perfect opportunity for our students to explore STEM careers and STEM fields. And our small inclusive community is just a great place for them to learn and develop. And again, we're pleased to have you guys join us, and hopefully we see your students next fall. And right now, I will turn it over to our long tenured, wonderful Arts Department Chair, Ms. Rebecca Candelscott.
Thank you, Mr. Sherman. And just on a personal note, I have to tell you, Mr. Sherman is an amazing math teacher. My daughter is in his 6th grade class, and she was not at all interested in math coming into middle school. And literally on the 2nd day of school, she came down the stairs from class this year and started singing to me about how much she loves math. So totally changed my child's life, just as a personal aside. I am Rebecca Candelscott. I have been at RHP for 17 years as a teacher and department chair and the chair of the art and design department. We did bring in that design element with the introduction of IB, which is really exciting because of course that design cycle is very much what the arts are all about. Process and inquiry and reflection and evaluation and readdressing and re-exploring the problems. We have very much a growth mindset within our department. I am also, as I said, an RHP parent. This is my 5th year as an RHP parent. I have a 10th grade child and a 6th grade child. And I have to say, as a parent, the size and flexibility of our school has been amazing for my kids. The fact that they're not sort of forced into a track like they would be at another school has really allowed them to explore who they are and different things that they wouldn't necessarily be exposed to, and in that way become better at what they do and what they are really passionate about. And so it's really been fantastic. So on to the art and design department. We have a philosophy in our department that every child is an artist. They just may not have yet found their art. And to that end, we provide a very broad range of offerings to help them find that creative outlet. We have a philosophy, as our teachers like to say, there is no. It's let's explore, let's see what you can do, let's see how you can take your idea and build on it. In middle school, our students cycle through visual arts, music, and drama. And then in high school, they get to select year-long offerings between photography, 2D design, 3D design, theater, technical theater, voice, media literacy, applied music lab, which is a composition class. And we offer 3 APs in the arts: drawing, 2D design, and AP art history. And while students at in our high school are required to take 2 years, we find that most of them find their passion and wind up staying in the arts for 4 years. Some take multiple arts and really kind of build that out. Some get involved in the Arts and Design Diploma program, which is a specialized program that offers students a broad range of exposure, mentorship, advanced study. It provides insight into careers into the arts. Lots of kids love art, but we also as parents want to make sure that our kids are earning a living. And so we really have a focus on that real world exposure and how can you take this passion and turn it into something where you can be really constructive and valuable and self-sufficient human being in the world. Outside of just classes, we provide students with lots of opportunities to become involved in productions. We have 3 major stage shows a year. We're actually in the middle of our 2nd online major production for the year, Council for Change. We have our closing night tonight. And this is a really amazing show that the students both wrote and are performing in and are teching in. Our technical theater kids have done an amazing job of pivoting this year to learn streaming applications and video editing, and they're all in their own respective houses coming together and putting on these shows, which has really been phenomenal. in other years, when we are back on campus, we have a variety of performance nights, including a classical night, and we have our talent shows and grandparents' day, lots of opportunities for kids to perform and for kids to tech, for kids to be backstage and lighting design and set design and running that, running the sound and all of that. Like I said, we have managed to keep our program very much alive during COVID. So if you go on our website, you can see our last spring, our virtual art show that we put up. It's still up there. We have videos, we have stories, we have images. And not only did our kids produce all the work that are in that show, but then our arts diploma students actually prepped that work and prepared it to go online. So again, learning those real world experiences and applications for their skill set has been really kind of wonderful for them. I'm going to go ahead and post my information in the chat as well. So please feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions at all about arts, performing arts, visual arts, performance opportunities, our arts advanced diploma program, any of that, okay? And in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and introduce you to our very talented athletic director, Harvey Kentani.
Thank you, Rebecca. I'd like to welcome and thank all of you for inviting me to join us on this Discover Day. I've been involved in athletics and education for over 30 years, first at a public school, Fairfax High School in Los Angeles, and the last 5 years as the basketball coach and athletic director at Rolling Hills Prep. And one thing that this school provides to our student athletes, and you heard it from the various departments, is the support and resources that not only athletes but all students need. The caring, dropping your kid off at school and knowing that they're in good hands, and we work collaboratively together to provide this. I've had over 100 kids get scholarships, and there would have been 100 other ones if they had the support that we have here at Rolling Hills Prep and Renaissance. Our upper school athletics has 8 major teams, but we also have other teams that are of interest to our students, sailing, surfing, we have a golf opportunity, tennis, and it's for all kids. And our middle school has soccer, volleyball, and basketball. The beauty of our athletics is that we have a no-cut policy, which means that if your son or daughter comes out, middle school or upper school, they're going to be on the team. They're going to be able to help build their self-esteem, character. They're going to work on good listening skills, leadership skills, work on positive attitude, work on mental health. And it also is so helpful when you're able to make new friends and have common interests. We also want to promote life appreciation for fitness and for sports. We all exercise on our own as adults, and we want to provide that opportunity for our students. As Bernie, our college counselor, alluded to, our small school, but we get scholarships quite frequently, and it's because of the support system of all of us here at Rolling Hills Prep that provide the right direction for our student athletes. Our teams do well too. We won CIF championships in various divisions, and it's just a great thing to see when our small school goes and we're playing a bigger school and we're louder than they are, and our kids do well. I want to just wish everybody a happy holiday, stay safe, and hope that you are going to join our Husky family. I'd like to present our next speaker, Christina Morris, who is our Director of Student Life. Christina.
Thank you, Harvey. Thank you so much. Student life on campus is at the heart of everything that we do. My name is Christina Morse, and I have the privilege of acting as the Director of Student Life. We focus on 3 broad areas: social emotional wellness, diversity, equity, and inclusion, and clubs and activities. I want to echo what Bernie Diamond said earlier. Looks like we're all referring back to Bernie. As a whole school, we take good care of each and every student. And I think that says it really well. We take good care, which means we consider and aim to support the whole child. The student life team includes our full-time school counselor, DEI coordinators, and we have 2 USC graduate level counseling interns. And together we collaborate closely with each grade level and with each division of both middle and upper schools. We offer school-based counseling for our students, either individually or in small groups, and we collaborate closely with outside therapists and psychologists as well. Some of the lessons that we provide are on social emotional learning and diversity workshops, and topics such as mental health. We've got 9th grade coming up next week, equity versus equality, or social justice and injustice. And we also lean in to facilitating difficult conversations. It gets tricky for students, and it's really good to learn these skills. So we provide our students with guidelines for inclusive communication, and we practice these skills daily in real time as life happens in the classroom. Also, each year, as a school-wide diversity symposium is held and focused on a specific aspect of diversity. Last year, you saw a short clip of Jonathan Mooney speaking. We were focused on different learning styles and neurodiversity. And this year, we plan to provide a virtual experience, of course, focusing on getting personal about systemic racism. There are also many opportunities for connection through clubs inspired by students, varying from AP Chemistry Club or Pokemon or even Anime Club. One of the leadership opportunities is for our students to become peer mentors. Currently, we have 10 upper school students who are being trained on supporting their peers and are currently visiting advisories in the mornings to build rapport, make connections, and be available for support. Finally, the student life team also partnered closely with our parent association, and my direct contact is with our wellness liaison, and together we collaborate on resources and wellness topics for students. So as you can see and hear throughout this past hour almost, all that we do is with intention and with your partnership in creating community. Thank you for your curiosity and interest in our amazing schools. With that, I'd like to hand it over to our admissions, and I would like to introduce you to our Associate Head for Enrollment, Carol Bernstein. Thank you.
Thank you, Christina, and I want to thank all of my colleagues for speaking before me. I hope that we've been able to show the warmth and care that we provide students in our community. I also want to just introduce my partner, and that's Shannon Kentani. Shannon, if you could wave for just a second. Shannon and I are the admission team, and Shannon is going to be probably your first person that you that will reach out to you if you decide to apply, and we certainly hope you do. Applications are now being accepted for both schools, and we do have a few spaces for mid-year entry, and you're encouraged to apply now if you're interested in enrolling your child between now and January. The priority application deadline is Friday, January 15th. And by applying by this deadline, families will be notified of our decision by early March. Our application is located on our website, and all documents, transcripts, including teacher recommendations, principal and counselor recommendations, grades, may be uploaded there. Student and parent interviews are also a huge part of our application process, and those will take place virtually with me after the application and supporting documentation has been received. We're no longer requiring the ISEE or the SSAT. We are part of the Los Angeles Independent Schools Consortium, And many of us within the consortium of schools, over 40 of us, have decided to delete that requirement to just alleviate the undue stress it has put on many of our students and families. Please note that at this time, we're not able to offer on-campus tours or shadow days. And we promise that if this changes, we're going to update our website as soon as possible, and you'll be the first to know. Instead, we're going to be offering a series of small, informal chats with applicant families or prospective families every week in February. So please visit our website to register for any and all of these sessions, as they will feature a new topic every week. There is limited financial aid available to families who qualify, and parents must complete the Parents Financial Statement, the PFS, also located on our website under tuition and fees. And you must upload your W-2 and most recent tax documentation. This deadline is also January 15th, so that's a very important date to remember for both our priority application and also financial aid. Shannon and I are here to assist you throughout the process. No question is too small, and we're really excited to hear from you. I know we've spoken to many of you who are on this Zoom today, and we look forward to working with you throughout the months ahead. Now, I'd like to turn it back to our head of schools, David Marr, who will introduce our student panel.
Great. Thanks so much, Carol. In a normal year, and I have the good fortune of sharing the stage with these wonderful students who make up our student panel. As always, I'll have a few questions for them. We'll get their responses, and then I'll turn it over to you. And if you have any questions, you can either put them in the chat box or you can unmute yourself and ask. To start, let's have our 5 students introduce themselves. So Sky, Devin, Nia, Naomi, Riley, can you start with just your name, grade, and maybe how long you've been here and a little bit about yourself. So Sky, why don't you take off first?
Hi, I'm Skyla Wesley. I'm currently a 9th grader at RHP. I have been here since 6th grade. And a little bit about me was that I was president of student council in middle school, 8th grade. And one of my favorite activities to do is act and play piano.
Great. Devin?
Hi, my name is Devin Darley. I am an 11th grader here at RHP. I came to RHP last year as an incoming 10th grader from the Da Vinci schools. I'm involved in lots of things. I have to get involved. I am an avid tennis player. I was our school mascot for all of our football games, which is a lot of fun. I'm heavily involved in all of the performing arts, so I have to partake in all of our on-campus performances. And then I'm also heavily academically involved in the sciences. I'm part of our Math and Science Honors Diploma program. I'm a member of the National Honor Society. And then I'm also partaking in multiple clubs, such as our associate student body, as well as Bring Change to Mind and whatnot.
It's a packed schedule, Devin. Naomi. Yes. Naomi.
Hi, my name is Naomi Scott, and I am a 10th grade student at RHP. This is my 5th year at RHP. I first came to the school in 6th grade from Park Western Place Elementary School. On campus, I have been involved with ASB throughout middle school and high school. In middle school, I was secretary and president. I am currently co-president of the AP Chem Club. I am a member of the technical theater crew, and I'm currently stage managing for our virtual musical. I am also part of the Math Science Honors Diploma program. Off campus, I'm a club swimmer on Beach City Swimming and a member of the Aquarium of the Pacific Teen Climate Council.
Great. And now where's the justice? The seniors have to go last. Goodness, is there no privilege? So Nia, let's have you go first of the 2 seniors.
Hi, I'm Nia Quinones-Koenig. I am a current senior, as Mr. Marr has just said. I have been here since 9th grade, and I am a Ren student. I am also heavily involved in the performing arts. I've been in a lot of plays and a lot of musicals, and I am currently part of our musical, which is closing tonight. I feel completely comfortable performing on stage, so I've done a lot of announcements when we were back on campus. I am also the leader of our Advocates of Diversity Club, since social justice and diversity means a lot to me. I recently went to a meeting with students from across the country, the Student Diversity Leadership Conference, in which we all talk about social justice and diversity and how we can contribute to it as young people. And that means a lot to me, as well as being the leader of Advocates of Diversity. I am also the leader of our film club, where we watch movies and analyze them and break them down.
Great. And finish us off, Riley.
Hi, I'm Riley Arkahichi. This is my 7th year at Rolling Hills Prep. I've been here since 6th grade. Some of the things I'm involved in as a high schooler is basketball, like athletics. I've been the ASB Spirit Commissioner and Student Representative. I've been secretary for 2 years of NHS. I'm also like a peer mentor, which we work with Miss Morse and Miss PD to give our students extra support and just have students there to talk with other peers. And I've been the president and founder with my friend Yaya of a community service club on campus called Husky Helpers. And lastly, I've been a designer on the yearbook staff in LitMac.
Great. Fantastic. So in the interest of saving time, because we're running a little bit over, I'm going to ask a question. I'll just pick a couple of you to answer that question, and then we'll go on to the next one. So random questions. First of all, let's say Sky and Devin, tell us about what makes the Husky experience unique to you. Sky, let's have you go first.
Okay. Something so unique, I think, about RHP, especially since in middle school and, starting high school, I think, is definitely the community. I've never felt like I've been more part of a community at my schools, the past schools that I've been to. I feel like since we are a small school, everybody kind of knows each other, all the teachers. I feel like a 6th grader can know a 12th grader, and a 12th grader could mentor a 6th grader. And I feel like, that's why we call it the Husky family, because I feel like we all kind of feel like an actual family here. And another thing that's really unique is the small classes. Like I said, since we are a small school, our classes are a lot smaller. So I feel like I get a lot of one-on-one individual time, which really helps me understand the work better, especially online, because since it could be a little challenging, I feel like our school has adjusted nicely to virtual learning. And but there is a bunch of different stuff. I feel like the clubs and the programs are great too.
Great.
Yeah,
thanks so much, Sky. Devin?
I just love the flexibility and all the community, which is really felt here. Coming in as a 10th grader, as soon as I came into our school, from pretty much the moment I stepped onto campus, I immediately felt just part of our community. And it's such a nice community, and everyone's just so nice, and everyone's so caring, and everyone really just wants you to succeed. And whether that be all the staff, whether that be the rest of the students, it really is just about, you doing all that you can do. And part of that really does play into the flexibility. You're allowed to partake in every possible thing which you could ever want to partake in. I love how flexible it is that I'm able to still partake in all the theater and all of my performing arts, yet also be heavily involved in all of the sciences. And I just love how it's all very communal. It's not, oh, this is that section of it and this is another section. No, it's all everything. Everyone knows each other. Everyone wants each other to do as well as they can possibly do. And it's just such a wonderful community feeling and family, as well as the flexibility which our small school nature really lends itself to.
Great. So Naomi Scott, how about non-academic pursuits for you normally, and then any changes that have happened because of COVID this year? So, and it doesn't have to be campus related, just non-academic pursuits overall.
Yeah, so I mean, in terms of extracurriculars, RHP does a great job of making sure that students have access to a wide variety of opportunities. For example, you can be a part of the soccer team and also participate in the fall play. Even though I have passions in science, RHP has been a place where I've been exposed to and encouraged to do all kinds of things I never would have thought of trying. Thanks to RHP, I have discovered my love for lighting design and technical theater. If it hadn't been for RHP, I would never have really discovered that feeling of tech week leading up to a show and just being so excited because you know that all of your hard work is going to pay off. And I think RHP has done a great job of making sure that even through distance learning, we still have these opportunities. I am still able to tech a show. And while it might not be the same as actually being able to be in person, it's still really great to see all this hard work and you're just working so hard to give people a show that that they wouldn't otherwise have. And so as opposed to swim, unfortunately, I haven't been able to swim because the pools have been closed. And so really being able to be a part of tech career has given me that creative outlet and that way for me to rest my mind from my academics and really pursue something that I love.
Great. Nia and Riley, you guys are seniors and have gone through the college process a little bit, or you're in the middle of the college process. Tell us about a little bit about how that's been, ways you've had been able to overcome stress and difficulty, and maybe a little bit about the support you've gotten along the way. Nia, you want to go first?
Sorry. Sure. So of course, college processes are always difficult in their own way, and this is no exception, but particularly I've had a lot of help going through the college process. I'm still currently going through it. But I like how the amount of help that we get, it's very one-on-one. So Miss Diamond is very helpful and is very patient enough to walk us through every single step that we have to do in order to make sure that that our applications are complete, make sure when we're turning it, make sure like when the due dates are, it's very specific in a way that I can understand and do it pretty effortlessly, and it doesn't come off, it doesn't really stress me out as much as I am already. It really does prepare us, and I'm like, okay, like this is easy now because I know what I'm doing, and it's been told. And even when we still have any questions, and the assignment is completely open enough to take those questions and to just be patient with us, because it is a little bit of a tedious process, but it's coming off for me a little bit effortless and easy.
Great. Riley?
Going into the college process and definitely in distant learning, I was a little bit like stressed. But with Ms. Diment's help, we've definitely had so much support, probably even more support than we've ever had, I've had at RHP. We're updated like constantly about our application deadlines, about our specific deadlines, and like a group deadline in both like an individual and group setting. I've had the opportunity to have many individual meetings with Ms. Diment, but also we've had like X and Y blocks, which is user study blocks. Also have time to work on our college applications in a college application workshop that just sets time to like actually let you like sit down and do your work instead of like waiting till all the deadlines and then like trying to hurry and do it. So I've definitely had the chance to like sit down and like understand, like how Nia said, like what I'm doing, because it is difficult and it's kind of like unknown when you're a senior. But I've definitely had the chance to sit down, like understand, and have Miss Dimet like check over my applications, because she takes a lot of time to help us and be able to successfully and like confidently send in our applications to a college that we wish to go to.
Great, you guys doing great. So let me ask one more question, and then I'll open it up to anybody that's watching. So at this time in our nation's history, diversity, equity, inclusivity is more important than ever. Our student body self-identifies, over 50% of our student body self-identify as people of color. How is your experience on campus and off? How does that help you deal with what's going on in society around you and wrap your heads around the conflicts that are happening in the greater society? Anybody want to take that on? I was kind of off the cuff. I should have given you a heads up, but I think you can. I'd love to hear your candid comments about this. I think everybody would. Sky, by all means.
I will say that first of all, before I get into it, I would like to say that I love how diverse our school is. I love how you see so many different ages and races and nationalities. I feel like, especially as a as a person of color, I feel like it is very helpful with all this stuff that's going on in the world to find people that you could talk to or find people that you can relate to. Like I said, especially with, this time going on, I feel like everybody at our school really understands. The teachers, you could always talk to them if you're going through something. If you feel like you need to talk to somebody, you could go talk to your fellow classmates, talk to your teachers, Miss PD, the counselor. Yeah, that's what I had to say. I feel like I love how inclusive it is, in that you could talk to anybody and you see people that you could relate to and kind of know what you're going through.
Great. Anyone else?
Yeah, adding on to what Sky just said, the teachers have definitely been very open to have us talk about anything that is on our minds, and particularly last year with the worldwide Black Lives Matter protests and continuing the murder of George Floyd. The faculty devoted a week for every class to be open, to pretty much have an open discussion and be able to talk about it and just express what was on our minds and talk about how we feel about it. And I really liked how respectful everyone was, because even if our campus, as we said, we're all a family. Even if you might not agree with some people's views, no one actually criticizes each other. We just hear it and accept it, and we don't criticize it. It's different, but we don't really want to get into another fight. We don't want to provoke people. We want everybody to bond together.
Great. You guys are amazing. So I'll open this up to questions from anybody that's listening. There was a question about ACE. I'm actually going to let Mr. Flamini talk about ACE as part of, it's a learning support program for Rolling Hills Prep. So Justin, and you guys stay, hopefully students, you have a couple more minutes to hang on, because there might be some questions directed to you. But let me have Mr. Flamini talk about ACE real quick. Justin?
Excellent, happy to. Yeah, our ACE stands for our Academic Center for Excellence. And what this is an additional support system for students who have any sort of psychological testing, 504 plans, IEPs, and it is designed essentially to provide the support and some of those approaches to learning skills that I mentioned earlier, social emotional health, self-management of time, and it really affords a student in their individual schedule with an entire support block where they can learn to, address any shortcomings with time management, anything to do with extra time with a teacher, or especially have a one-on-one learning specialist that is going to work with them to bring them to the level where they can succeed in the classroom. It is something where, again, it is testing accommodations are provided. Anyone in the classroom, any accommodations that are needed, like guided notes, those are provided as well. And so we ask that you submit a release, of information form sometimes, so we can speak to other individuals to help bring the family larger, make it a larger family, and really just help and best determine what accommodations can help your student succeed.
Great. And Delia, so the difference between Rolling Hills Prep and Renaissance, if there's questions about a student with learning differences, can best be understood through the admissions process. Reaching out and having conversations with Carol, she can refer you to Jen Stroud or Justin Flamini or others that'll help with determining if there's a question about whether Rolling Hills Prep or Renaissance would be the best fit. That would be addressed through the application process. Also, Reach Elementary School does their own Discover Day, their own Discover Tours. If you're interested in looking into Reach for a younger child, you can go to reachschool.org and learn from their website about their admissions processes. Other questions from the audience? We're way over, so I can't thank you enough for sticking around and staying with us. It is a school day. So I'm going to turn these teachers and these students especially back to work. And we can't tell you how much we appreciate you joining us today. We wish you the happiest of holidays, and we really hope to see you initiate or continue with the admission process for our great schools. Thanks to everybody who spoke today. Thank you for joining us, and have a great afternoon. Happy holidays.
Thank you, everyone.